Welcome back to episode 5 of the Sideline Surge podcast, where two dudes like us that never made it inside the white lines talk about it from the sidelines. We're going to be playing a lot of games / talking about bets today in today's episode. Not too much news has happened between yesterday's episode and today's episode, so we're going to fill the void with some fun games and some BS about sports, obviously, and also talk about some bets. Why not talk about some bets? We love that here on the show. But if you guys are not already subscribed to the podcast on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you guys clicked on this episode because it does help us out. We would appreciate it. I'm Dustin, your host, and our co-host, DJ. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was just a drag because there was only 7 games on, so not a whole lot to enjoy. But like you said, we have got a full slate today. Every team in the MLB is playing. We got some WNBA, so we're bound to have some news. But we're going to have days like today where we're having to come off of a day where it's just slow in sports. And that's just the reality of kind of where we're at in this time of the year. So a lot better today, though, to answer your question.
Terrific. Yeah, the lull in the seasons of sports is what we are currently set in right now. But look, we have one more month and we are out of it. We have college football news going to be breaking towards the beginning of the season. We're going to have, all those position battles in college football and the NFL, giving us news and headlines to talk about. But yeah, specifically football just starting in a month, which we've talked about. We're excited about. I'm sure everybody is at this time. We start getting that little football bug right about now.
I was about to say, I think we're really going to start getting some of that news probably here in about a week or two, because the football season actually starts in a month. So, I mean, a lot of these position battles and news is really going to be coming out in about probably 2 weeks when they start to declare starters and everything else. So I'm excited for that.
Touche.
What we need in our life right now.
Touche, though. How do you feel about preseason football? Does it do it for you? Do you sit there?
No.
Do you watch the preseason games? How does that work for you?
Do I watch them? Yes, I do watch them, but does it meet the needs that I want it to meet? No. And I get my hopes up. I'm like, this is the year they're actually, I'm going to tune in. I'm excited about these players. And then I watch it and I last maybe half a quarter and I'm like, all right, got to throw something else on. Like, this is just, it doesn't do it for me. Not at all.
Yeah, I guess it, like the first game, like the Hall of Fame game or something, it's like, all right, gotta watch it. Finally, some football in my life. And then it's like,
Right.
All right, after the first few games, it's like, okay, I'll wait for the real season. I'll keep up with some headlines. I'll maybe watch a little bit here and there for fantasy football purposes, and keep up with the headlines. See, who's getting playing time and where they're at for fantasy football only, really. And then I'm ready for the NFL season to actually start. But
yeah,
all right. Now, I want to start with a game that we have brought to you by, not really a shout out, but StatMuse. We are going to be ranking we're going to be ranking these 3 trios 1 through 4. And guys in the comments, I want you guys to comment down below your rankings as well. Play along with us in this game, ranking these 3 trios 1 through 4. I cannot say that. These trios 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you got it. You nailed it.
We nailed it, right? All right. So obviously we have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey for team number 1. We have Joker, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, team number 2. And then the trio there in OKC, Chet, Jalen, and SGA. And then the Celtics, obviously, Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis. Would you like to start this one?
I'll start it. Do you want me to go through all 4 or just rank number 1?
Let's go. Let's start at 4. You give your 4, I'll give my 4.
Okay, so my 4, I'll go Boston. I know you love that. So I'll go 1 as Boston. I'll go 2 as Philadelphia, 3 as Denver, and then 4 as... No, actually, I'm going to go 3 as OKC, 4 as Denver.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. Whenever I said we'll give our 4 first, I meant like number 4 first. You listed them. It's fine, though. That's why when you said Boston at 4, I was like, what? Oh my
I thought you were
god.
saying we're gonna give our full list of 4. My
No, no,
bad,
no, no.
misunderstanding there.
No.
So that's my 1 through 4,
One
and
through
that's what I
four.
went with.
Beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
my
All right,
1
I'll
through
give my
4.
1 through 4. I think it's obviously we got to give the edge to the Celtics. Obviously what they've done, two highest paid players in the league or contracts in the league history, right? So obviously they're great, but yeah, adding KP healthy. I mean, we seen what that first two games of the finals were in the playoff setting, let alone what they were doing this season, with an insane season. Give them one. Two, I think I am going to give to. Not gonna lie, I think it's Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey, and then from there, I think it's just having Jokic on the squad. I think is just going to boost his playmaking ability to help out these other two. And when Jamal Murray is on, he's really, really, really good. Aaron Gordon, to have that guy, that hustle guy, rebounder, defensive type of guy as well, kind of rounds out the trio. I know this trio in SGA and the OKC squad there is really good, and they are coming along. I love Jalen Williams, probably one of my top players in the league, favorite players in the league in his game. I think that they're closely behind taking over the three role from Jokic team if they
That's
continue to fall off a little bit. OKC's got to do something. This trio's got to do something a little bit more. I know they were number one seed. Let's see them do something in the playoffs together and go from there. But yeah, Celtics, 76ers, Nuggets, OKC, my 4.
See, and that's I feel like your reasoning and my reasoning were very similar. Like I did agree with you on the Celtics. I mean, that's hands down probably the best one here. They've proven it. They've got the highest paid contracts. I feel like that's without a debate. Then we haven't really seen the new Philadelphia trio. I do like that. I very good and very promising. Like just Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid alone have been so dominant. You add Paul George to this mix, it only gets better. I don't see them staying stagnant in a sense or even taking a step back. They get even better. But my case with kind of the Jokic incident here is just I feel like he's kind of a one man show. You could take I love Jamal Murray, but you could take him out and replace him with somebody else. You could put Drew Holiday in that role. And it's like now you're talking about, oh, is this a trio? I feel like that trio is only made because of Joker himself. Aaron Gordon, like I'll that 3, I'll take Jalen Williams in that battle. That's it. It is kind of wish-washy. It's like a 49-51 split on what I lean towards in terms of favorites, but that's why I am going to go OKC. They're young. They've gotten better every single year. Whereas, if something happens to Joker, that Denver team is done. If something happens to SGA, I feel like OKC will figure it out. Like they can make ends meet.
Yeah, you're kind of convincing me a little bit. Like, if you take out Joker and you put in somebody else there, another kind of star, is this even a trio people are talking about? Right? You might be right there. So you might convince me. I might take OKC 3 now and then put the Nuggets 4. So I think you convinced me to change that up a little bit. Well done. Well done. You got me. You got me to adjust my rankings. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Clippers are number 2 in this trio. Or sorry, not Clippers. The 76ers.
76.
PG coming over from the Clippers. Colors also weirdly similar on their jerseys on StatMuse.
Yeah.
So also throwing me off. But yeah, we'll see if they really are number 2 in this ranking. But let's continue on with a little bit of important stuff that happened in last night's games. You want to talk about the first one we have on tap?
Yeah, so obviously it's my Braves. If y'all are just now tuning in, I am an Atlanta Braves fan. We were one of the 7 games going on, and it was a thriller. It was the last game of the day. Had the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sean Murphy had 2 outs in the top of the 9th, had a runner on second, hits a 2-run home run, sending this game into extra innings. We ended up winning this game 4-3. Very good. It's exactly what we needed. I hate traveling over to the West Coast, playing over there in that different time zone, and then having to go all the way back to the East Coast for Atlanta. But anyways, good to them. The Reds also shut out the Rockies. Honestly, the rookie, Rhys Hines. It was his league debut. He smacks a homer, 449 feet. So he got every bit of that ball. It's very good to see a rookie kind of get thrown into the mix and contribute. So it was nice to see them not only have that moment, but also get a win in his very first game as an MLB big leaguer. And then the last kind of big thing that I saw here in the MLB news, one of the games, Detroit Tigers ended up winning versus the Guardians 1-0. And that one alone run came in the bottom of the eighth on an error.
Oh,
And that's how they win this game. So kind of a tough game to be watching. And then even more when you see that the only run is from an error. So sorry, Guardians fans.
question for you. So, Reese Hines homers in his league debut, right? Question: if you're an MLB rookie, would you rather strike out your very first at bat in the league, but be guaranteed to hit a homer in that game, or have a single in your very first at bat as a big leaguer?
Oh man, that is actually tough. I don't want to strike out. I don't want to strike out my first. I feel like that's just a roller coaster of emotions. Like I don't think I want that. I don't think I want to strike out and then be guaranteed a home run. I want a single. I need to stay level headed. I think that's the way that I'm going.
You got
Because
to
man,
get it
I'm
under your
either
belt.
right. I'm gonna have that label attached to me. He's a all or nothing type guy. I'm good. I'm
Listen,
good. Like,
I'll
that's
be
not the
honest.
label I want.
There's got to be no better feeling than finally making it to the big leagues and then hitting a home run in your first at bat as a rookie. It's got to be one of the top 5 feelings in the world. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. No, and that's yeah. It's kind of obviously you have the jitters of I made it, but I remember that happened when like as a Braves fan with Jason Hayward. Like it was like, oh, rookie, and I mean he's nothing really now. I mean he's with the Dodgers, kind of a role player. But yeah, his very first at bat walks in, bottom of the second or something, home run, right field. And I'm like, that has got to be the coolest thing. I mean that's obviously the top. That's what I want. You give me that big head energy, but I don't want to strike out first.
Right, right. And I just thought about that as you were talking about, the current rookie we were talking about, Reese hitting a home run in his debut. I'm like, if I had an option, to almost like we're building a career, like my player almost, to hit a home
Right.
run. I don't know. I want to hit a home run first at bat in every at bat in the major leagues if I ever did make it there, which obviously I didn't. That's why we're here on the Sideline Surge.
There's still time.
We say
Still
that.
time.
Yep, maybe. Yeah. I am grinding in men's adult softball, so maybe, there might be a scout. I do play against a former big leaguer in my league, so maybe, he might put in a
Hey,
good word for me. Something like that. But yeah, let's do this. So, if you guys don't know or are not following us on TikTok at Sideline Surge, we do post some clips from this podcast. Make sure you guys are following us. We also maybe post some other content as well over there on TikTok that might not be found in these long form content shows. However, since we are a sports betting podcast, I wanted to do an over under with our TikTok following. DJ, we have 8 followers on TikTok. I am going to set the over under of 25 followers by the end of today, which is July 9th. Will we be over or under 25 TikTok followers on our Sideline Surge TikTok?
First off, what a great line. And I'm taking the over. I'm a gambler. I'm not scared money don't make money. I'm taking the over. Give me over. Were we saying over 24 and a half or you said over 25 and a half? Are we looking for 25 or are we looking for
We're
That's
set.
what I'm looking for a
Yeah,
number, right?
over
It's
24 and a half.
Okay, I'm looking for 25. Give me that. Yes, we got it. Come on, give us the follow on TikTok. I mean, we can link that in description below. That can be down there. Y'all can find the easy click. Go give us a follow, and we got it all figured out. I got the over.
DJ's got the over. TikTok, do your thing. All right. We will see if we are going to be right. I personally think we are going to as well be over 25. I think we're going to go hard today. And get that TikTok following up. But before we head on to some of the sports news from yesterday, let's go ahead and look at some PrizePicks bets. What's going on at the top of the board of Daily Grind Fantasy? If you guys don't know, we are powered by Daily Grind Fantasy here on this podcast. You can use code SURGE for 25% off your first month membership to find the best plays on PrizePicks and any of these other DFS apps by comparing sportsbooks, lines, and odds directly back to PrizePicks. Chris Sale at the top of the board on the under of 37.5 fantasy score by comparing to DraftKings and Caesars. But how do we find those lines for those books? At Daily Grind Fantasy, it compares the even lines for the player props that make up pitcher or hitter fantasy score on those sports books to come out with a would-be projection that you're seeing there underneath the sports books. So they're definitely off by right around 3-ish fantasy score. Right around 34 is what these books are projecting. 37.5 on PrizePicks. So seems to be a little too aggressive. We're gonna be fading your boy Chris Sale. How you feeling about that?
Great. I mean, it's always weird trying to fade a superstar, and I mean, yeah, he's got the most wins in the MLB, tied for the most wins in the MLB. But again, listen to the books. You're not going to see Chris Sell in there every single time. So they know something that we don't know. They're the ones that spend millions of dollars doing their research. Just listen to them. It doesn't feel good hitting that submit, but I promise you, it's the right way to go.
Trust the market, and you will not fail. You will be a profitable sports bettor if you guys continue to trust the market and find value in this fashion, right? By comparing these lines and odds directly back to the books. So from there, I mean, if we're just going to be looking at some of the actual sports, guys, there's plenty of value in esports daily by line comparing as well. If you guys can't see it, Sadson is set to 12 on underdog and set to 11.5 with heavy juice minus 190 on the under of hot streak. You're getting this one higher on underdog on PrizePicks than underdog, and then 1.5 higher with juice to the under over there on hot streak. So PrizePicks seems to be a little too aggressive at 13 headshots for Sadson on PrizePicks. So that's one. Jose Ramirez on the over of 7.5 fantasy score. So this time we're on an over for what I would call a stud in the MLB, at least hitting wise. And the guy steals bases. He could go over with a stolen base. He's done that to me plenty of times. It might have been on his under sometimes when that's happened, but I'll forgive him if he gets a stolen base in this one. Same thing with regular kills. Sadson set to 33 on PrizePicks, and then 31.5 and 30.5 on hot streak. Some more studs were fading the pitchers. These pitchers' fantasy score seems to be a little too aggressive across PrizePicks at the moment with where they currently set these. Some League of Legends, Yordan Alvarez on the over, Judge on the over. So definitely some star-studded unders in this lineup. But like I said, we're trusting the math. Elena Smith, if you were looking for a WNBA play, heavy juice to the under of 6.5 rebounds, average odds of minus 141. We get it at minus 119 on PrizePicks. So if you get that in with some of these top plays, you are looking good to go. So there's some of your top plays for PrizePicks. If you wanted maybe some underdog plays, you could click over to the underdog tab and see what's over there. If you played Chris Sale on PrizePicks, forget about it. You have Daniel Schneeman. Yeah, that seems about right. Never actually heard of him, to be honest. Under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, average odds of minus 141. Over there in a 6-pick insured slip on underdog, you're getting this play that's minus 141 on the books at minus 116. That's how you should be line shopping and finding the best value across these books if you want to be profitable. And by using Daily Grind Fantasy, code SURGE will get you 25% off your first month. All right. Now, let's bounce to some news. Some news. This one's actually sick, and I think we seen this coming by maybe the first 10 games of his career last year. Elly De La Cruz comes into the league just stealing bases, stealing hearts, honestly. If you look at some of the favorite players of these kids, you ask little leaguers who their favorite players are. I've been seeing it on TikTok and such. Majority of them are Elly De La Cruz these days, or Aaron Judge. I'm going to be honest. He's got the swag, he's stolen hearts, and he's stealing bases like nobody else, especially in the Reds franchise. He breaks the Reds franchise record for most stolen bases before the All-Star break with 44 stolen bases. Absolutely insane.
Well, and he actually in that game, so he broke it with 44, but then he also, in that same outing, got his 45th stolen base. So he stole second to break the record, and then I think it was a pitch or two later, he steals third and gets 45. So it's just like, and I think that's why these kids are obviously loving him. I love to watch him. He's electric. Like, and he brings a different aspect to the game than what Aaron Judge brings to the game. Obviously, Aaron Judge is the big pop at the bat, but Ellie De La Cruz, yes, he doesn't get on base a ton, but the thing is when he does, oh my gosh. Like, it was even 2 days ago, he stole second base, and he didn't steal second base until the catcher caught it. It's like, obviously when you steal, you want to steal as the pitcher's throwing
Want to
it.
get a
He
jump?
didn't steal until the catcher caught it. Yeah, and it was just like the catcher, he noticed the catcher was being real lazy with the ball, kind of lobbing it back to the pitcher. Catcher caught it, dropped to a knee, he took off, catcher throws it back to the pitcher, and he's already at second. And it's just electric. I love it. It's different. It's nothing that we've really seen when we tune into MLB, and I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If I am the Reds coach, he has more than 45 stolen bases at this current time because I would run him on every time he gets on base. Now, I would at least steal second. Stealing third is a different task, although this guy does it on a consistent basis when he tries it. But yeah, no matter what, if he reaches first base, I would even tell the catcher, the pitcher, hey, he's going. And as long as he's not getting picked off, he's taking that bag. And even if he gets out here and there, I promise, I believe that it is plus EV and worth it to have him steal every time he touches first base, in my opinion. And that's what I would do.
Do you think he has the automatic green light? Like, do you think he has to wait for a still signal, or they're just like, hey, Ellie, whatever you're comfortable with, you got it?
I don't know. That it's a very professional game in the MLB. So it's like, you got to listen to your coaches. But with a guy that speed, if he feels he can get a jump, he might just have the green light. And honestly, if I'm his coach, do it. Actually, no. You got to be smart situational. I don't know. Now I'm backing. Now I'm backing.
I was
up
about
my
to say. I
thoughts.
mean, I feel like it could be a mixture of both because I mean, it is situational. Like, obviously, if it's a really close game, I don't need you trying to steal second, 2 outs, right? Let's be a little bit smart here. We have probably a really good hitter right behind you at bat. Like, let's not try to force the issue on that. But I feel like in like early innings, it's kind of like, hey, you fill it out. If you feel you can get a good jump, then go. So I feel like it's a comfortable mesh.
Yeah, it might go by
Because that's what I'm going to
analytics.
believe.
It might go by analytics too, right? Hey, man, like this guy
Yeah.
gets stolen a lot. If you feel like you got a good read, go for it. Something like that as well. And then kind of the last little bit of news, not super big, but Marcell Ozuna does commit to the home run derby. So now we have Marcell Ozuna, we have Gunnar Henderson, we have Pete Alonso, Alec Bohm, and I believe that is the only 4.
Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt. I forgot about Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
That's
And
actually
that's the
really
5.
sick. So yeah, Bobby Witt
Yeah.
also. That's a good one. I mean, maybe not the craziest of home run hitters either, but still a big name and a fun name in the sport right now. So to have him, representing at the home run derby, awesome. Now, let's go ahead. We need, what is it? 8 contestants in the home run derby.
Mm-hmm.
So we need 4 more. We got half of them. Who else do you think?
We have 5.
5. We have 5. All right, 3 more left. Who commits?
I would say I want to see Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge has already came out and said he's not participating.
Right.
Like he's been very open and honest about that. So I mean, I want a big heavy time hitter, and I think everybody wants to see this player, and it's Shohei Ohtani. Like,
if you didn't see that news, then he
No, I
has
haven't.
came out and said that he will not do it because of his elbow injury. He doesn't want to risk. Yeah, that.
No, the last that I saw is he said he was still interested. Him and Teoscar Hernandez said that they were both interested. So I guess I didn't see this.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
No,
Well,
unfortunately.
then I guess I'll go with the teammate. Hernandez.
Okay.
He's a big time hitter.
All right. My dream would be Rafael Devers to enter it. But then I obviously are they still waiting to announce the Rangers player? Because there's usually always a player from the same team. It's got to be either Corey Seager or Adolis Garcia, probably.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia's competed in it before. I think Adolis Garcia is probably going to try it again in the home state there. So Devers, Adolis Garcia. I don't have a third one off the top of my head that commits. But hopefully a heavy hitter, and we get some home runs in that.
I was about to say, I would love to see somebody from Texas. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, Texas Rangers. I'm talking about somebody that also plays in Texas, and I would love to see Jordan Alvarez. I don't know if he's come out and said anything about whether he's interested or not, because I know that obviously they're starting to ask these types of questions to fill out the final eight. But I would love to see Jordan. I think that's a big time heavy hitter. He's in Texas. He's right down the road. Like, if we could get him in this home run derby, that would be
I
fantastic.
actually like that. I
'Cause-
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then yeah, because I mean, like, I don't know. And if we get Rafa Devers in, you think that he would just ask like a Yankees pitcher to come pitch for him? Like,
Right?
like
The guy just
is it-
mashes Yankees. He's like, can we also have the Yankees left field, right field wall too as well while we're at it? You know, whatever.
exactly.
All right, we placed our bets on who we think is going to enter in right there. But now, speaking of placing bets, let's go ahead and check out Odds Jam. Basically like Daily Grind Fantasy, but for the sportsbook bets, right? If you are on the books, not these DFS apps, and you want to compare lines and get the best possible value right in front of you, you can check out OddsJam code SURGE again for 25% off your first month. Speaking of Rafi Devers, if you like the man over 2.5 total bases today on Bovada, you can get this at plus 140, and the rest of the market has this plus 122 average odds. So you're getting quite a bit of some value here, taking it at plus 140. Comparing to a lot of these other books, we have a couple other books right around plus 133. Pinnacle is pretty sharp, but everybody else right around plus 110, plus 101, plus 115 ish for 2.5 total bases. So a plus money play on Rafael Devers. You have some soccer. Zach Wheeler underplayer walks plus 135 on Bovada as well. You're getting this average odds plus 123. Let's see, what else do we got here? Just kind of peeking around. Hits allowed. Kenta Maeda over 5.5 hits allowed, plus 114. Average odds of minus 115. So you're getting plus money. The only place you're getting plus money is Bet Online for that play. Kenta Maeda over 5.5 hits allowed. Everybody else is minus 115 ish. So I mean, there you go. There's a plus money play.
And versus the Guardians offense, like, I love it.
Let's go, baby. So there's a couple plays off OddsJam if you guys are looking for that. Code SURGE 25% off your membership, first month membership at OddsJam. Now, I do have one more game, and it kind of went with the first game we played, and I think you even alluded to it, one of the questions in this, based off of what we were talking about there, and you didn't even know this was going to happen. So we're going to play Jalen Williams, and I am going to give you a few players, and you're going to have to decide if you take Jalen Williams or this player that I'm going to mention, okay? So,
would you rather? Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Would you rather? Jalen Williams, and I know this guy doesn't play exactly the same position, or Karl Anthony Towns?
Jalen Williams. I feel like Jalen Williams, like, they're both highly inconsistent, or right now kind of highly inconsistent in terms of scoring, but I love the young prospect in Jalen Williams. I don't really trust Cat too much anymore. I think if you had asked me a couple years ago, I'd have probably leaned Cat. I think he was much more dominant, but I feel like he's kind of fallen off.
All right, Jalen Williams or Aaron Gordon, which is what I think you talked about earlier.
Yeah, Jalen Williams. I mean, I know Aaron Gordon is a really good defensive player, but I think that Jalen Williams just adds so much more to a team than what Aaron Gordon could add to any team.
Especially offensively. Jalen Williams also that hustle guy as well as Aaron Gordon. So I think his offensive game compared to Aaron Gordon's offensive game, where they're at right now, is the big factor for me personally. And Jalen Williams makes some plays with some assists and such as well lately. So I like to see that too.
Yeah, I feel like their defensive gap is pretty minimal. Like, it's something that I think that his offensive game definitely has a big enough gap that takes over his lack of defense. That's pretty much.
And only proving our point that OKC should be in the 3 spot of those trios rather than the Nuggets there. And the last but not least, Jalen Williams or Evan Mobley?
Oh, that is tough. That is tough. I feel like because again they play very different positions. And I feel like that is one that it depends on the team. So I'm gonna say though, I still love Jalen Williams. I love Evan Mobley as well. I love Evan Mobley's defense. I think that like his defense is on the very same level as like Jalen Williams' offense. Like that's how good he is on the inside. So, but I will have to lean Jalen Williams. Oh man, that is a tough one.
So
That is
you're
a tough
saying,
one.
depending on what you're looking for, defense or offense, you'd be kind of a coin
Right.
flip. If you need just a little bit more offensive firepower and kind of that scoring guy, you need Jalen Williams on the team. But if you needed, okay, so overall though, you're
Yeah.
gonna lean Jalen Williams. So we have a clean Jalen Williams sweep on that game. And like I said, I know they weren't exactly the same positions for some of them, but I just like those names together. I don't know, they sounded good on the playing field of Jalen Williams. And then I wanted to add in Aaron Gordon because I knew that we were going to talk about it. And I think you said that during your argument, Jalen Williams over Aaron Gordon. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah, no, I did because I was like looking at kind of like the considered maybe three guy, although people would say probably Jalen Williams is the two guy there in OKC, but I was kind of looking at him as if he was the three guy,
Right.
and I was like, I'm taking him over the three guy in Denver, which is Aaron Gordon, 100%. So I definitely did say that.
Awesome.
Step ahead.
Yeah, so that rounds it out. Jalen Williams sweep to round it out. But I think that is going to be it for episode 5 of the Sideline Surge. Unless, DJ, do you have anything else?
Nothing at all. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, that's going to be it. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button, and we will see you in the next podcast episode. Peace.